We are on the run. The USS Armiger and the crew have been accused by Chancellor J'mpok of the Klingon Empire of siding with renegade Klingons and attacking the colony world of Khitomer. In truth, it was J'mpok who fired the weapon obtained from those same renegades before blaming it on us. Our friend, Captain Shon of the USS Enterprise, believed our innocence and covered our escape, but the rest of the Khitomer Alliance has been tasked with hunting us, J'ula, and Martok down.
Strange, isn't it? Hours ago we were enemies, and now we must trust one another to survive. Our enemy is a madman with the power of an empire at his command. The path ahead will be challenging, but it is one we must follow. I hope you're ready. Consult with your crew and wait for Adet'pa's signal. We will make our next move soon.
Interestingly, the ally who sides with you changes depending on your faction. So, right now we make for safety, as we are forced to work alongside a woman who just hours ago we were sent to bring in. All in the sake of clearing our names and revealing that Chancellor J'mpok was the one who fired upon the Khitomer Alliance HQ. As it is, we've dropped off those who wish to take their chances with Starfleet and hold up in the Badlands while we consider our next move.
I have discovered the location of the evidence we need to clear our names. Obtaining that data, however, will be difficult. For one, it is stored in a secure facility in the Gorath system. For another, it is held within a system that utilizes cutting-edge data security. Security that goes even beyond my abilities. Fortunately, I happen to know a very talented specialist that can assist us. For the right price. I've arranged a meeting at Shangdo on Nimbus 3. Meet me there, and bring old Martok with you. We can always use some extra muscle.
Shangdu on Nimbus 3, a location we have visited before and home to a former Tal Shiar recon base. The planet was supposed to be an example of what a joint Klingon, Romulan and Federation world would be like. Ironic then that we're heading there, fleeing Khitomer, the home of the peace talks of cooperation between those same powers. Of course, Nimbus 3 long since failed and was abandoned by all, leading to the Orion Syndicate to take over under the sway of their crime boss Hassan the Undying. However, he has been deposed, leaving his former palace up for grabs and with new management stepping in. It is no surprise that Adet'pa knows contacts from Nimbus 3. After all, her moniker was the Witch of Nimbus when she was still living as the last of House Mokai, with information being her trade. In fact, these contacts we are going to meet are in fact people who have had an influence on the storyline of STO from behind the scenes, only now appearing in-game. The crew of the Cold Star.
This place smells like violence and vice. I can see why Adet'pa enjoys it.
Your olfactory senses are to be commended, General. But then I'd rather hide out here than on Riser.
Indeed. This place doesn't hide its purpose behind smiling half-naked fools and manufactured weather.
Well...
But enough of that. We need to consider who we're working with and where she's leading us.
You have concerns about J'ula and Adet'pa? Can't say I blame you, really.
She is Mokai. Only an idiot would not be concerned about her intentions. It is no secret how I feel about J'mpok, especially after everything that has happened. But I find myself thinking, we may be replacing one tyrant with another. Should that prove to be the case, I will not hesitate to end J'ula's reign as well. Even if it means being the Chancellor again.
Yes, I hear that's a role you don't relish, but then again, it could be worse fates.
Ha! Do the job for a day, and see if you say the same thing afterward. For now, let's find this witch of Nimbus 3, and see what sort of criminal mischief she's conjured up for us.
So, in order to better hide our identities, we are wanted after all, we've dressed down in civilian attire, although Martok doesn't appear to be one for subterfuge. He's also not the only one casually strolling. General, you're great and all, but please don't blow our cover. As we reach the head of the line, skipping the queue entirely, we can hear the pounding music from within, akin to a nightclub, except this one is built into caverns and the hulks of derelict Orion vessels.
Welcome to Shangdu, an entertainment experience unlike any other, brought to you by Madron Enterprises. Would you like to hear about our drink specials?
Madron runs this place now? That might be a problem. Have you seen a Klingon woman pass through here recently? Several, perchance.
Why yes, I saw a particularly fearsome-looking Klingon woman arrive earlier. She wasn't interested in the drink specials either.
Yeah, let's not get hasty. I didn't say I wasn't interested, I just have business first.
This is normally where I'd expect a little compensation for letting you cut to the head of the line, but I can see you're not in the mood for a shakedown, so please, go on in and enjoy your Shangdu experience.
Ah, right. Thank you. It's the 6-foot Klingon behind me that's done it, isn't it? Well, it has been a while since we set foot in here, and the last time it ended in a firefight. So, Martok, let me just point out, everyone in here is packing a weapon, and most have some shady agenda. Our goal is to find our own while avoiding theirs. Along the left-hand side is a large cage made for battles and arena combat, all for the betting and entertainment of the crowds. In the middle are the dance stages for the performers, while the bar is nearby, keeping the age-old tradition of alcohol-fueled spending alive. Behind the bar is the VIP suite. So we need to find Adet'pa, so let's begin by asking around.
Well, hello. I like the way you're put together, stranger. Buy a girl a drink?
You know what? I would surely like to, as you're clearly very observant. In fact, I bet you've watched all sorts of people come and go. So, you seen any Klingons?
Oh, a bit too rough for my tastes. Klingons. Male or female. Afraid I haven't seen any Klingon women recently. But if you change your mind, I'll be around.
Perhaps another time. Hope you find what you're looking for. On the way past the force field to the cage, I spy a Ferengi out there in the arena. Looks like Madron, which could be a problem as Madron knows our faces quite well. We look entirely too suspicious at combing the area as a group, so I get the team to split up and make their own inquiries. Now, you can completely skip this step of the mission if you know where to find Adet'pa. She's in the VIP suite, but there's a lot of dialogue to overhear.
Something you need, friend?
Yes, friend, I'm looking for a Klingon warrior.
I don't like the look of you. You best step away before I get angry. I've been to Talos before, lived to tell the tale. I've got a Federation death sentence for that. So, you don't want me getting angry.
I'm not even certain that's a law anymore. But, oh, sure thing, mate. You're super tough and I'm really intimidated. At the other end of the bar, however, we spot someone else that might recognise us, so we move in to have a chat with Morn. Morn, buddy, hi. I had no idea you frequented places like this. I guess you got to get out and experience the galaxy for yourself at times, eh? Listen, have you seen a Klingon woman around at all? No? Well, in that case, would you mind not letting anyone else know that we're here? It's kind of an incognito thing. So if anyone asks, what do you say? Excellent. There are always a lot of oddities at Shangdu, from this table of Remans to some Breen arguing with Hirogen, of all things. Perhaps the Hirogen are here for the arena.
Hey, you! Listen, I need you to help me settle a little bet here with these ruffians.
Well, I'll see if I can help, but first, is there a Klingon?
Clear. I ain't no Klingon. Something wrong with your eyes? Listen, I say that the Chancellor J'mpok got the best pitcher in the league. And these hooligans say that, oh no, it's the Vulcan team's got the best pitcher. Help me out, pal. Who's right here? Me or them?
You are completely 100% correct. Now, if you could just...
See? I told you. cash and clothes are the best. Now pay up. One shot of the best tranya in our house. Oh, thanks a lot, pal. You're a real upstanding citizen. Hope you find your Klingon.
Thanks. You're great help.
Now's really not a good time for me. Whoever you are.
It's alright, I'm not going to ask you to get up or anything. I'm looking for a Klingon woman.
Try Kronos. Place is full of them. Look, I haven't been right since the Iconians hit my planet. Unless you got a nice hit of Axonol for me to numb the pain. Please, just leave me alone.
Ooh. No matter how many we try to help, some people always slip through the cracks, especially in wartime. Eventually we can find a table towards the back that has a hooded Iridian. Iridians are known to trade in information. Fortunately, this one informs us of Adet'pa's location for free.
Help you with something, stranger?
A Klingon woman came in here not too long ago. Perhaps you've seen her? I've been searching for ages.
As a matter of fact, I have. She's over in the VIP section with some rough customers. Syndicate, if I were to guess.
Orion Syndicate, yes, completely. You are 100% correct. They are Orion Syndicate, definitely.
Saw her kick some fella in his tender parts a while ago. Found out the hard way it ain't wise to rile up a Klingon gal. Just saying, she might be in a mood. Tread lightly, you know.
No, I'm not with... She's expecting me, it's fine. Playing it safe, I do a cursory scan of the VIP lounge to see indeed she is there, at a table with some associates nearby. So we gather up the team, enter the VIP section, and say hello to our friend.
And here they are at last. Did you get a little distracted by the local talent on the way here?
Yeah, you could say that. You know, you could have come and grabbed me.
Ha! This place isn't as wild as it used to be when Hassan and the Syndicate called the shots. Back then, the place was actually interesting. Speaking of the Syndicate, introductions are in order. This is Var, Captain of the Cold Star.
The Nakul man at the back introduces himself.
Your reputation precedes you. Have to say, I've never done business with a hero before. Ought to be interesting, at least.
Things do have a habit of getting interesting around me. Usually it ends up with phasers being fired. Let's see if we can avoid that.
Couldn't agree with you more. The surly, well-armed Orion next to me is Kenya, and the esteemed daughter of Earth there is Wilkins, our information specialist.
Kenya doesn't say much to us at all, but Wilkins is very chatty. Ladies?
Hear that, Kenya? Hold us ladies. I like them already.
So Adet'pa says you can crack security that even she can't, and that's apparently saying something.
I'll bet she does. I'm a handy gal to have around. Especially if you're looking to acquire some very secure data from some very cranky folks in a certain empire we all know and love. I gotta say, you don't think small, do you?
I try to. Things tend to escalate. But do you think you can at least handle this job? Or have we come all this way for nothing?
With both hands and my feet if I need them. Relax. Our mutual friend the witch here wouldn't have set up this little palaver if she didn't think I was the right gal for the job. I'll get your data. Don't you worry.
Confident? Good, that's what I like to hear. Okay, we should get moving.
Picking up a lot of EM interference. Could be some sort of disruption field. I think we need to get out of here now.
Very well. Stand close, everyone. Hail to Armiger. We should beam up. Hail to Armiger. I can't contact the ship. Something's definitely wrong. So, just to catch up, the crew of the Cold Star were first introduced in 2016 in the lore blog short stories set in the STO universe and have been on several adventures. They consist of the Nakul Captain, Var, who is among the many fleeing his homeworld after the Tholians darkened its sun as part of the Temporal War. He fled here, in fact, where he picked up a job from an Orion captain called Lontus and his ship, the Cleaver. Here, Var met his future wife, a Ferengi called Ona, who was fleeing an unhappy marriage contract. Lontus was recruiting to hit a Ryzen luxury liner and abduct the VIP on board for ransom. However, things went south, the VIP was killed, and the only survivor on board was a baby human. Lontus tried to flee and leave Var to take the blame along with some of his crew, including Luan Wilkins here. However, she had already hacked the Cleaver's systems and prevented it from leaving, then beamed the team back for a mutiny. The rest of the crew were a mute Klingon named Kor, named for the Core of Legend, and this Kinya. They renamed the ship the Cold Star, I think in memory of the Nakul, and chose Var to captain it. They undertook a subsequent arms deal on Rosanna Station and smuggled Quark through the wormhole to Karema at the beginning of the Herc invasion, only to witness the planet swarmed by them. Suffice to say, they've been through a lot, and are about to go through a lot more. As we try to leave, it seems Adet'pa's suspicions are correct.
Got incoming!
Klingon soldiers beam in right in the middle of the club and open fire on us. It seems they don't much care about who they hit in the crossfire. Fortunately, every other patron in Shangdu pulls a disruptor or other some such of their own and violently objects to J'mpok's forces skipping the queue.
Yes, the battle is all but won! Keep fighting!
You're being hailed. Looks like a locals.
A local signal? Then it's coming from within Shangdu. Oh no, I think I know who it is.
Well, well, well. Having a little trouble contacting your ship? No transporter waiting to beam you up? You can thank me for that, friend. Chancellor J'mpok has placed a bounty on your head. Enough latinum to buy a small moon. With that kind of profit on the line, I simply had to turn you in to the Klingons. What Ferengi in their right mind wouldn't?
One who didn't want to anger the wrong Klingons. I should have known this was too good to be true. You probably clocked us the minute we warped into the system. That's why you're in the arena, isn't it?
As far as I'm concerned, the wrong Klingons are about to set sail for Stovokor or Valhalla, or wherever they go when they die. I'm afraid I'm not an authority on the Klingon afterlife.
Yeah, well, better Valhalla than the Vault of Eternal Destitution. Madron, you're making a mistake here.
I think I'm going to agree to disagree with you on that. Try not to hold it against me. After all, it's just business.
So's the end of my phaser rifle. This time, waves of Nausicaan mercenaries beam in. Interestingly, these are not Madron's hirelings, but hired by J'mpok. Looks like he's attempting to bolster his forces to replace those Klingons that defected.
J'mpok must be desperate if he's sending mercenaries after us.
Our new Cold Star acquaintances seem equally angry at Madron.
That Ferengi's got this place locked down tight. Only way we're getting out of here fast is by getting the bypass codes from him.
So, we need to find him. Where is he? I have a suspicion, but would you mind confirming them for me? So, do you know where he is?
As a matter of fact, I do. The little darling's hiding in the arena.
Ah, I thought as much.
You mind taking that field down? I got a splinter in my hacking finger.
I hope a splinter is not all it takes to stop you. But, fan, I'll get the door. You know, it says a lot about the patrons of Shangdu that after they're involved in a firefight, they then crowd the arena for the chance of a free show rather than running away. We make our way over to Madron, who is cowering behind another force field.
You are my nemesis, my tormentor, the Odo to my Quark. This time, though, I'm going to be rid of you at last. There's no way you'll bypass my disruption field and beam out to safety. Yes, that little challenge is beyond even your skill, nemesis.
Okay, I'm flattered you would compare me to Odo, but I would just like to point out, everyone knows that they were actually friends. We are not. So, lower the force field, come on out, and then let us out, and we won't have to shoot you.
I think not. As soon as the Klingons and I settle that minor disagreement over my pay, I'll let them resume their hunt and finish you off once and for all.
Okay. Team, how do we get at him?
He'll surrender if we can get past that personal shield of his, but there's no way we're knocking it down with our weapons. He can sabotage the generators that are powering the shield, however.
Ah, you mean those big, glowy, easily accessible generators dotted around the arena? We move to disable them, but Madron begins beaming in from the arena's cages.
Let's see how you handle my Mugatos.
You're trafficking in smuggling Mugatos. I'll add that to the list.
Ah, Mugatos. So hot right now.
Wait, what do you mean hot? Keep them away from you, just in case. Now, the enemies that he beams in here are endless, basically. You just have to effectively let your team soak the aggro away from you so you can go and disable the generator quietly without being interrupted. When the generator falls, he stops beaming in the Mugato and we move on to the next.
How about a little local flavor? They might sting a little.
You know, at some point a stinger stops being a sting and starts impaling things. Despite the scale of these monsters, it's the same deal here.
I believe it's time to release the hounds!
These aren't hounds, they're Targ, although they like their little helmets. We managed to shut off the 3 generators, but Madron has one final surprise for us.
No, no, no! Shield's losing power! Crush them, Squamous! Crush them!
That looks a lot like a T-Rex. A T-Rex with cybernetic enhancements that is firing lasers. Am I in a horror novel written by Tom Paris? But seriously though, if I had to guess, this thing was probably captured from the Dyson spheres where the Voth are present. And alongside this monstrosity that's also firing mortars too, oh lovely, there are smaller Velociraptor-like killers.
This is costing me a fortune!
As undeniably cheesily awesome as that was, I can't help but feel a bit sorry for Squamous here. Poor guy. Okay, Madron, we need to have a talk. I want to know how you got out of Federation custody so quickly, and I have new things to add to your list of charges, including smuggling and making me shoot a T-Rex.
Well played, but you haven't won yet. With just a push of a button, I'll beam out to my ship and leave you here for whatever bounty hunters or mercenaries that come along.
Before we can answer, Adet'pa seems to be trying to get our attention. Yeah? Something up?
Oh, not much. Other than I've broken through the jamming and, contacted our ships. It appears they've locked their weapons onto Madron's ship in orbit. All of their weapons.
Interesting, that is a lot of firepower aimed at a single marauder. You know, Madron, I think you're right, buddy. I think it might be time for you to leave.
You wouldn't dare! You couldn't! Could you?
I'm off duty. But in case you haven't heard, I'm a wanted criminal now. So, do you want to find out?
First the Klingons betray me, and now this! I'd have better luck dealing with the Borg. Fine, you win. The field's down. Now get out of my bar!
Of course, buddy.
Let's get moving, before I change my mind and shoot this little Capact for his betrayal.
Well, with that our business here is done. We have Adet'pa, her team from the Cold Star, and the location of evidence that will exonerate us. Now we just need to get to it, which can't be half as complicated as recruiting the team in the first place, right? So, as we prepare to make a hasty retreat, our next objective is the Gorath system to cut through its security, both in cyber form and physical, to expose J'mpok's heinous attack. As for what comes after, well, I'm not so sure. We'll have to cross that when we come to it, but I suspect Ju'ula will make a play for power, and I'd rather see Martok in charge. Good thing he's with us then. And I hope you will be too for the next part of the Star Trek Online story series. That was a good transition. Thanks for watching. I've been Rick, and I hope to see you next time. Thanks again, and goodbye.